On a rainy Tuesday morning, inside the grand lobby of Meridian Trust Bank, a regular errand turned into a living nightmare and completely shattered everything she thought she knew about human nature. 4 masked gunmen in black tactical gear stormed the building. Screams echoed as glass rained down on the marble floor. Everyone panicked. Wealthy business owners wept, bank tellers froze in terror, and Clara herself dropped behind a pillar, her heart hammering against her ribs. Except for one man. Sitting near the back was Julian, a guy with oil-stained hands and a tired face who looked like he spent his life fixing broken engines. He didn't scream. He didn't tremble. While rifles were pointed at the crowd, Julian looked at the gunmen not with fear, but with the cold, calculating precision of a hunter analyzing his prey. Who was this ordinary mechanic? And why did his 8-year-old daughter look at him with absolute certainty that they were going to walk out of there alive? What happened next in that bank lobby would go viral worldwide, proving that the most dangerous weapon in the room isn't a gun. It's the man everyone decides to ignore. Before this story starts, I have a challenge for you. Watch until the very end and see if this incredible journey changes the way you look at failure forever. If you love stories that inspire millions, subscribe to Korean Nightmare Stories, hit the notification bell, and comment where you're watching from. Just minutes earlier, Clara had barely given Julian and his daughter, Lily, a second glance. They looked like an ordinary working-class family waiting for a teller. But Clara, possessing a sharp eye for detail, had noticed something unusual before the chaos began. Despite his worn appearance, Julian's posture was perfectly straight. His eyes had been scanning the room, not nervously, but methodically tracking every exit, security camera, and blind spot. Now, with the robbers commanding the room, Julian whispered just 4 words to his daughter. Position 1, stay quiet. Without a single tear, Lily nodded and slid perfectly beneath a heavy oak customer service desk, clutching her sketchbook tightly. She didn't panic. She trusted her father implicitly. One of the masked gunmen noticed the movement and marched over, aiming his rifle directly at Julian. "Don't move, old man," the robber barked. Julian slowly raised his hands, his expression completely unbothered. "We're staying calm," he replied. His voice didn't shake. It carried a strange, quiet authority that actually made the gunman hesitate for a second before turning away to bark orders at the bank manager. The criminals were working against a tight clock. Outside, the distant wail of police sirens began to echo through the city streets. The pressure inside the lobby was rising. Suddenly, an elderly man sitting a few feet from Julian began to gasp frantically, clutching his chest. "My inhaler," the old man choked out. The robber guarding the hostages panicked, raising his weapon. "I said nobody moves. Shut him up." Julian looked the gunman dead in the eye. "If he stops breathing, he dies. If he dies, your robbery charge becomes a federal murder investigation. Let me help you keep this room under control." The logic hit the robber like a physical blow. He lowered his rifle slightly. 30 seconds. No tricks. With deliberate, slow movements, Julian reached into the elderly man's coat, retrieved the medical inhaler, and calmly administered the dose. Within moments, the old man's breathing stabilized. Clara watched the entire exchange from behind her pillar, completely spellbound. This wasn't the behavior of a mechanic. This was the behavior of someone deeply trained to operate under extreme psychological pressure. The fragile peace broke when another customer, overwhelmed by fear, bolted toward the side exit. 2 of the gunmen instantly broke formation to chase after him, leaving only one robber to guard the entire group of hostages. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and become part of our growing community. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Your support helps these powerful stories reach more people around the world. The security perimeter was broken. Julian saw the opening instantly. He caught Lily's eye beneath the desk. The little girl gave her father a microscopic nod. In a fraction of a second, Julian moved. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was pure, lethal efficiency. He closed the distance, grabbed the lone robber's wrist, and twisted the barrel of the rifle safely toward the ceiling just as a shot fired into the plaster. With a brutal shoulder strike, Julian sent the man crashing into the marble floor, knocking him unconscious. "Get down!" Julian roared. Clara reacted instantly, grabbing two nearby customers and pulling them flat behind the thick concrete teller counter as the remaining robbers opened fire. Bullets ripped through the drywall. Using the counters as tactical cover, Julian slid across the slick floor, grabbed a heavy metal chair, and hurled it directly into the knees of the second gunman rushing down the aisle. The criminal folded with a scream. By the time the final two robbers realized they had lost control of the room, they turned to find Julian holding one of their own abandoned rifles, completely dismantled, its ammunition magazine already stripped and tossed across the room. If you're still watching, it means this story has touched your heart. Take a moment to subscribe to Korean Nightmare Stories. Every subscription helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to people who need hope. And while you're here, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in this situation? Julian stood tall, completely unfazed. "The police are on the perimeter. Your exits are blocked. It's over." Within moments, flashing blue and red lights flooded the glass storefront. SWAT teams breached the doors, quickly detaining the disoriented criminals. As the adrenaline faded and the lobby filled with paramedics and police officers, Clara stood up, brushing dust off her designer suit. She walked over to Julian, who was already on one knee, gently wiping a smudge of dirt from Lily's cheek. Lily wrapped her small arms around his neck, whispering, "I knew you'd save them, Daddy." Clara looked down at the man she had dismissed just an hour earlier. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice filled with profound respect. "You stayed calm when everyone else lost their minds." Julian offered a faint, tired smile as he stood up. "Years ago, I served in an elite special operations brigade, but after my wife passed, I walked away from that world. My daughter doesn't need a hero anymore, Ms. Sterling. She just needs a dad." Clara nodded slowly, a wave of humility washing over her. "Today," she said softly, "you were both." A week later, the city held a commendation ceremony for the survivors and first responders. But Julian didn't show up to collect a medal or a reward. When a local reporter tracked him down at his small repair shop and asked why he risked his life for total strangers, Julian simply looked at his daughter playing nearby. Every person has a story. Some are filled with pain, some with hope, and some remind us that miracles still happen. If stories like these inspire you, join our family by subscribing to Korean Nightmare Stories, like this video, and share it with someone who needs hope today. "My little girl was watching," he said. "Children don't learn courage from what we tell them. They learn it from the choices we make when things get dark." That day, Clara Sterling learned a lesson that no business school or billion-dollar deal could ever teach her. True leadership isn't measured by wealth, power, or titles. It is revealed in the quiet moments when fear tests your character, and the greatest heroes are often the ones who expect absolutely nothing in return. What's the biggest lesson you learned from this story? We read every comment, and your support helps our channel continue bringing powerful stories that inspire people around the world. Thank you for being part of the Korean Nightmare Stories family.